Oh, Arsenal, never like that. In reality, look, you wanted to leave. You were getting sick and tired of it all, weren't you? Come on, be honest. Be honest
I
with
had no
yourself.
choice, basically.
Of course you had a choice. Don't be daft. But think of the bright side. Now, director's box, comfy seats. So
I could not even dream to be in there one day.
there you go then. I don't know what you're whinging about. You've been Arsenal manager for a long time. You deserve the respect from the fans, from the board, from everyone. So
When you speak about our manager since 96, but I started at the top level
again.
in 1983. I grew up in a little village.
Arsenal, we've been through this, mate. We've been through it. But this is the third time you told this bit of the story, if I'm honest. Anyway, we were looking around your office. I saw this about a test. What is this all about? A test? I didn't sign up for this.
In our world, we have exams every 3 days and every week.
How did you pass those? Exams? I don't know about that. Also, I found a little pot of camembert sitting in the corner. Is that what's in that then? Is it what is?
There's a little butterfly in there that tells you, "Come on, my friend, where are you?"
Talk to you later, Arsene. What the is going on? Just put this over there. Right. Viewers, welcome back to Wenger Out. It's me again, Dr. Benji FM. If you're enjoying the series and you enjoyed episode 1, welcome back for episode 2. We're going to talk through all things Arsenal. Transfers have been made and sales have occurred. Let's see then, what have I done? We've got Bayern today. It's set to be exciting. So yeah, Bayern today, we're going to show you the system, show you the transfers, and then Chelsea Community Shield tomorrow. First trophy in the bag. We can put it alongside the camembert or the butterfly, can't we? So, we've brought in £135 million, 60 million of... I need to knock the butterfly over. So, we've brought in £135 million. The first of which was Alexis Sanchez, 60 million. I think that's pretty good. Final year of his contract. I think it's best to just let him go. He doesn't... Look, it's quite clear to me that he didn't want to be here. For all his goods, for all his goals... We can't just succumb to the pressures of players that have got a year left. If we let him go on a free, that's far worse. Manchester City were interested. Yes, they're a rival, but let's face it, this season, they're not a title rival. They'll probably walk it now they've got Sanchez. So next year, that's when we go at them. But this year is all about getting back into the top 4 and creating a squad that will be competitive, game in, game out. Alexis Sanchez, for all his qualities, and he's probably, well, he was the best player at the club, to get 60 million for him, to get him off the wage bill as well, it opened up doors for other players. He wasn't the only person to leave, though. El Nenny's gone, because I don't really know why Arsenal... I've got to be honest, from an outside perspective, I'm not entirely sure why Arsenal signed him in the first place. 7.5 million, sold him for 15.5 to Leicester. We've done all right. This is a bit weird as well. Debussy's gone to Stoke for 6 million, because, again... Why was he there for? You signed him at like 29. Was he a backup for Bella? What was the... He's gone anyway, Stoke. Okay, 2 to go. This one was a bit more. Rising to 30 million. Danny Welbeck has been sold. And while he can play similar positions to Sanchez, and I don't think... So, if I'm selling Sanchez, I'm selling Danny Welbeck. We're not going to play him. We're not going to use him. I think while he's a good footballer, he doesn't quite offer me what I'm looking for in the system that we're going to play, and that'll obviously be revealed shortly. And, with that in mind, we've had to move him on. He's a good footballer, and he needs to settle somewhere. I think he had a decent time at Manchester United before being sold to Arsenal. We've had him for a little bit. He's never really scored the goals. He's had a few injury problems. Off to Everton, reunited with Wayne Rooney as well. So Danny Welbeck, off you go. Enjoy your time. I'm just doing this. I'm wafting him out of the room. And then finally, and in my opinion, this is a bit of an interesting one, Theo Walcott has gone to Monaco of all teams. Monaco, of course, have lost a lot of players in the summer and obviously need to reinvest some of that into players. And Theo Walcott's a man they went for. I just think that at 28 years of age, Theo Walcott, in my opinion, has never quite done it at Arsenal. Apart from that, really, in my opinion, that one standout year where he got 14 goals in 32 appearances, had a little bit of a good spell. That is the only time I remember Theo Walcott being good enough to play for Arsenal. And I'm just being honest, that from an outside perspective, I'm not an Arsenal fan, so that's how I look at it. When he scores goals, he's very quick. There just needs to be a more consistent element to his game, and we've never really seen it. So he's off to Monaco. Hopefully Theo will enjoy it in France. I'm sure he will. And it's been a project for Arsene Wenger as Theo Walcott, but now Arsene Wenger's gone, so is Theo Walcott. And that then left us with money to spend. Right, we'll do it in price order, because some of these are a bit weird. The first of which is David Carmona, right back from Sevilla. I just think he's good cover for Bellerin. I want someone, obviously I sold Debussy. He cost a similar amount of money. I think he's a bit younger, time to grow into the role as well. 20 years, I say a bit younger, he's 12 years younger. But it's got all the attributes I'm looking for. Good stamina, good acceleration, crossing's very good as well in attacking areas. And that marking, passing and tackling will probably go up as well. He's got a bit of potential. He's currently only 2-star ability, so he'll be playing in the Europa League games, the Cup games. But yeah, he comes in at the moment and settles in nicely. Okay, for £19 million, of course, we sold Welbeck and Walcott, which left us a little bit short up front, so I've had to bring a couple of strikers in. The first of which is Moussa Dembele from Celtic. Of course, had a little time at Fulham, so he knows London well, and was prolific in the SPL last year. They've made a lot of money on him, so they're going to be happy with that. But I think, actually, in terms of the striker he is, he's quite similar to Lacazette, and if any problems happen with Lacazette, I'm very comfortable bringing in a 21-year-old with lots and lots of potential into the club. You can see from his potential ability there, he's 4-star minimum, 5-star maximum potentially there, and 2.5-star current abilities. And Moussa Dembele, the perfect man to bring into the side. And I think throughout the year, we'll see him contribute an awful lot. We're not doing this in order. I've decided we're going to save one for the end. But first of all, welcome Jean-Michel Seri. I don't know if that's how it's said, but again, comes in from France. The Ivorian international from Nice has been a really good player for them. Some consider him a bit of an N'Golo Kante, but with a bit more of a passing ability. He scores goals as well. I think last season for Nice, he got 7 in 34, so not too bad. Similar mould to sort of Naby Keita. I think Arsenal and Liverpool were both linked with both players over the summer, and they sort of fit the role. Even Barcelona at one point were interested in Seri, so it's nice to bring him in. Really good passing ability, fantastic stamina, work rate, and can play as a Mazzala. We'll talk about the Mazzala role a little bit in the future in a moment. But yeah, tireless midfielder, going to get work rate out of him, and that's what I'm looking for. So he comes in and puts himself in the centre of the midfield. And if you thought one tenacious defensive midfielder wasn't enough, or sort of workhorse midfielder, well, you were wrong. Idrissa Gueye comes in after a move from Aston Villa to Everton. He spent 1 year there. I've paid the big bucks, £34 million for him, our most expensive transfer of the summer. He's going to play in that defensive midfield role, covering the back two of Mustafi and Koscielny, spoiler. And then we've got tackling, work rate, he's very good teamwork as well. Anticipation of the ball's fantastic, great stamina, good strength at 5'9". Will just slot right in there, do a fantastic job for us hopefully. Him and Xhaka will probably share the roles depending on who we play. There's also the alternative to play him and Seri next to each other. I will say though, at the start of the season, he's injured, so we won't see him for a little bit, but he's not out for too long. If I quickly check this, actually, he's out for, in fact I think he's just returned to full fitness, so forget what I just said. This is just a weird transfer, isn't it? This is just weird. So with Sanchez gone, this is now revealed to you that Ozil stays, and the idea is to play triangles, 2 triangles. You'll see in a moment. Christian Benteke at 26 is the younger version of Olivier Giroud in a way. If anything happens to Lacazette, then Dembele comes in. If anything happens to Giroud, Benteke comes in. He's cost me a fair bit. He's cost me £32 million. He's scored goals for Crystal Palace, and I can't get out of my head the player he was for Aston Villa. He was in a very rubbish Aston Villa team. He was quite a good player. We'll have to kind of ignore what happened at Liverpool because it was a bit of a disaster. But regardless of that, I think he comes into the Arsenal side. He offers us that extra bit as well. If we're losing games, right, this is one thing Arsenal can't do at the moment. If they're losing games, their only option is to bring on Olivier Giroud. What if we go slightly more direct and we can play Giroud and Benteke? All of a sudden, defences have got loads of things to worry about. 2 big men up top. It's a possibility. It can happen. And there's far more to Benteke's game as well than just being a target man. He can do the little bits in between, and hopefully he'll fit into this Arsenal team. It's quite an expensive backup to Giroud, I'll give you that. But then again, we're not in the Champions League. So if you're thinking, why hasn't he gone out and bought some really good players? Because we're in the Europa League, and this is what happens, Arsenal fans. I'm sorry. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I know this pain all too well. So then, tactically, this is what we're going with. Now, Petr Cech, I think we're going to get one more year out of Petr Cech, and starts in goal. We then have a back 2, a ball-playing defender, in Mustafi, with Koscielny next to him. If fit, those 2 are the best 2 defenders we've got. I put in a bid for Van Dijk to see if we could get him. If Liverpool weren't going to bother, then I thought Arsenal may as well. But no, it's not quite come off that way. We've then got Kolasinac on one side, Bellerin on the other, both in the wing-back roles. And what this actually offers us, if you play them a little bit further ahead, is you limit teams the space in behind. It's similar to what Manchester City are doing currently, where they sort of play fullbacks in more advanced areas. And I think if you use Kolasinac and Bellerin, who are both attacking, have both got some good stamina on them as well. Crossing ability for both of them is also very good, and they can pass the ball well. So they could be part of moves going forward rather than just being sort of shuttlers up and down. We then, at the moment at least, play Xhaka in the deep line playmaker role in between the two of them, shielding the defence. Xhaka's an interesting player because he's not like... He got this reputation because he got sent off a lot. He was a bit of a destroyer. I don't think that's what he is. I think he's a playmaker. You put him in that deeper role, similar to sort of a Xabi Alonso a few years gone by, Nuri Sahin in a Dortmund lineup a few years ago. That's what I want Xhaka to become, that kind of mould of player. In front of him, this is where things get exciting. We've got Seri playing as the Mazzala. Now, the Mazzala is an interesting role, and I should probably read the description of it so you know what it does. Of course, this is a new role within Football Manager 2018, and it's a modern interpretation of the Mazzala. A central player who likes to drift wide and operate in the half spaces. The Mazzala is essentially a centre half winger who likes to do his defending slightly further up the field, although he does generally have less defensive responsibility. That's why Xhaka's in behind him. I want Seri to be Mesut Ozil's press. We're going to have a Carrilero next to Seri, which will be Gueye, hopefully, which is basically a shuttler, a box-to-box, but slightly more aggressive in the press again. With Seri, I want both of these guys to be the press for Mesut Ozil and to get him the ball as quick as possible. If you're going to get the best out of Mesut Ozil, you've got to get him the ball. When Mesut Ozil's not in the game, he's useless. He's a waste of space. So if you get workhorses behind him to give him the opportunity to do things with it, not only workhorses, but technically good workhorses, then I think we'll see a really good season out of Mesut Ozil, who's playing in that advanced playmaker spot. We then have Giroud and Lacazette ahead of him. The idea being that Jack Wilshere could occasionally come in for Mesut Ozil. We can bring in players like Aaron Ramsey if needs be. You'll notice a lot of our wingers have gone. Walcott, Welbeck and Sanchez all left the club, and that's why we're not playing them. It does, though, mean that in maybe European games we have the opportunity. Rennie Adelaide can come in and play on the left-hand side or the right-hand side if needs be. We've got the same qualities in Reece Nelson. Young players at Arsenal that are given the opportunity. That's part of the reason I sold Theo Walcott. His time's passed, all right? He clearly isn't going to be the player everyone expected him to be. So move him on, give someone else a chance in a season where we've got a bit of a break year before hopefully being back in the Champions League. Why not? Of course, as mentioned then, Gueye, who I'm not sure will play in this friendly. He actually needs the match fitness, so he probably will do. This will end up being then the lineup that we have in this first game against Bayern Munich. Let's play it. If you've got any other questions about the team, then comment section, and I'll reply to as many as possible. But there we are then. That wasn't very funny, but at least we got a lot done. Now we have we've got a match briefing that I'm going to be honest, for a friendly, I'm going to give my assistant the opportunity. I think for the game against Chelsea, though, next time out, we will do our match briefing and talk through some of the bits within that. But today, we've kind of focused on two new roles. So, moving on. Essentially, what I've wanted to do, folks, and this might now be apparent to you, is I wanted to create two 11s. I wanted to have two sides, one for the Europa League, one for the Premier League, and some of the bigger Europa League matches, and be able to rotate those so we're never too tired. There's a lovely new match graphic, and I love the match graphics this year. Of course, face packs and badges and stuff will be included, probably more towards the main game because they're prone to breaking betas, so I might stay away for now. But once the full game's out, and this save will continue throughout the main game for a little while, I'll put them in. But for now, just be used to the fact that they don't have them. Don't worry about it. I am aware. Before someone leaves a comment, are you going to use faces and badge packs? Yes, I am. Probably going to get them from Sorted Out SI. I'll mention that now as well. I'll leave a link to their website down below. Okay, then we are going to use my favourite... it's raining. Can you see the rain? Hopefully you can see the rain. We're going to use my favourite camera angle for this as the rain stays. Seri's got a free kick from a mile out. Seri the free kick. Well, I don't really know who's a set-piece specialist. My favourite camera angle, people will probably ask this as well, is TV, and then you put the height at the lowest and the zoom at the max. And I think that's the way I'm going to watch Football Manager this year. 2D, I don't want to say 2D's dead, but... It's suffering. I'm going to see basically what people say. If lots of people go, bring 2D back, then I'll bring 2D back. This game against Bayern, I thought would be a little bit more exciting. I'm hoping that in the system we're playing, it'll work well as Robert Lewandowski scores and the Bayern fans behind the goal go mad, so that's good. If you watched the Ajax save earlier today, you'll know that I have my camera angles on reverse. So we see a goal from one side, and then they flip reverse it on your baby, and we see it from the other side. I quite like it. Okay, Mesut Ozil in quite a deep position here, but hopefully we can work our way out. I've just realised, folks, I've not shown you my team instructions. It's something we'll go through for the Chelsea game, along with the pre-match stuff as well. Bellerin's played a through ball to Giroud, which I don't think is going to work all too often. It's cleared forward though, and Gueye gets on it. And now it's into Giroud, whose link-up play with Lacazette must be pivotal. There's links creating all over the pitch. Again, we'll look at sort of the team roles more in the next one. Kolasinac now getting forward on this left-hand side. This is what we want to see. Ball whipped in towards the back post. It's cleared as far as Seri. Knocks it down for Mesut Ozil, whose strike hits the crossbar, and it's turned away. Well, it's only a friendly, but it'll be nice to start well, I think. We're talking about a lot of new players. We might as well see them in action. Kingsley Coman bringing it forward. One of the best youngsters on the game this year. Lewandowski strike on goal, and it's saved and put behind by Petr Cech. Corner to be whipped in. Bernat's on it. And, he finds the edge of the box. It's Koeman again on the ball. If he gets too much space, Bayern one of the better sides. Oh, that's what I want to see from Garniguay. That's what we're looking for. Great slide challenge. As long as the clear, well, don't even see the clearance, but the tackle, that's what he's been brought into the team. That sort of grit. Right at half-time, as they traipse off, lovely view of the pitch, and we get our sort of half-time look down. You can see in the game so far, more shots, slightly more possession as well, but that one goal from Lewandowski, a world-class striker, has given them the lead. We'll do a quick team talk at half time. We'll go for the passionate approach. Keep going out there, work hard, and it'll be worth it come the end of the season. And we'll see if they didn't react. They didn't. No one cared. Like, okay, it's only a friendly. It'll be fine. I think we have to bring. Do we call him Ghana or Guay? I've always called him Guay. I don't know now. What do we do? Got a new name. Oh, God. I'll probably nickname him something else by the end of the series. It looks like it might be Bayern to come forward again as the ball's whipped into the far post. Oh, Bellerin nearly gets there. It comes back out to Koeman, though, who's a very dangerous operator as he dribbles the ball around, plays it to Rudy on that side, out to Kimmich on the right, and a little bit of space, time and movement. Koeman at the back stick. In fairness, this might make me rethink the formation slightly if we're going to be so susceptible to these crosses coming in. I was hoping, you can again see it from the reverse angle, that Koeman, he passes the ball, you look at it in there on the far side, makes the run. I mean, in reality, he should be being marked there, and it's probably the fault of Bellerin that he doesn't stick with his man. So, annoying. Highlight after the goal. Does that mean there's going to be a goal for us? I hope so. Half an hour to go. We'll probably make some changes soon. But we'll see how this highlight develops as we're playing it around quite nicely. Olivier Giroud slides through Seri. It's a tackle from Kingsley Coman. And now Bernat. But he's under a bit of pressure here. Not an easy place to get rid of the ball as a fullback. Goes inside. And if Bayern score from this will be a really good from one end to the other goal. But we seem to get it back under our control. Here we go. Seri plays it into Ozil, who's got to be more involved in the game. And it is at this stage. Lacazette again on it. Out to this right-hand side of Bellerin. Now in acres of space. Hector Bellerin. Ball played in towards the middle. And Lacazette heads over. And I think that is time for change. So what we'll do is we'll change the duo. We'll bring on Benteke. I think Dembele's fit enough for this. Yeah, he is. He can play as well. At the back, we'll bring in Chambers. I think we'll also bring in Rob Holding, actually. We're going to rest everyone for this game coming up in the Community Shield. So quite a few changes gone through. As there's another highlight before we see anything else. It's played forward, but I think Lacazette was offside. He was. You can cancel pending changes, but we shan't. I mean, we're not long left to go. We might as well attack this friendly. We had a pretty good pre-season, but it looks like Bayern Munich are just that bit better as Kingsley Coman volleys over. It's a corner for Bayern Munich, whipped in. Koeman heads it down, Rudy with a strike. I don't know where the ball is. It's saved eventually by Petr Cech, and it's still 2-0. I feel like a lot of highlights have started us with having throw-ins and then them breaking on us. Lewandowski's on it now. Great challenge by Rob Holding. And Seri gets back in to recycle the play up towards Benteke. Heads it down. That's what he's there for. And now Dembele, the pace of him. This is the perfect Arsenal goal. That is not gone in. Oh, God. But that sort of thing there, up to Benteke, lays it off for a midfielder to play the through balls to Dembele. That's what I want to see. The same thing with Giroud and Lacazette as well. That is the sort of goal I want to be seeing this season. As Ozil looks for Dembele. Is it? Hello? I can still sell you. There's still time. I'm just looking at all the Bayern players pass it around to each other. They've got some really good players, haven't they, Robert? Good goal. Okay, flipping heck. Oh, excuse me, it's only a friendly. God damn it. I love that, by the way. Even when the friendlies are arranged, Arsenal still get Bayern. I'll be honest, folks. This is not how I pictured the first game. Bellerin forward. It's, well, we might win a corner. Yes! Come on! It's a goal kick. What? What? He slid in on him. It was clear. Am I about to lose 5-0 to Bayern Munich in a pre-season friendly? No. Here we go. Christian, through ball, Dembele. He had one chance earlier in the game. Moussa Dembele, he wins a corner. Good stuff. If only Lacazette had those chances, blimey. To this point, I think every manager that's signed him has felt like this. Was Christian Benteke worth that 30+ million? And that then brings us to the end, thank goodness. 4 goals for Bayern. Second half, they sort of ran away with it a little bit as we went for it and made some changes that could be making our team worse. Regardless of that, though, not the greatest way to go into a game against Chelsea. I'll certainly say, luckily it was only a friendly, and yeah, they seem motivated by the fact it was only a friendly, because that's the normal reaction, I assume. Don't know what word is supposed to come out there. I think that out. Oh, that was it. Right then, hopefully you've enjoyed the breakdown, transfers, and a game against Bayern. If you have, do drop a like. And remember, videos all throughout the weekend. We may well even have a double upload day tomorrow. Who knows? We love with care. I said when I say double upload, I mean 2 of this. We love with care. From me, Dr. Benji. Until next time, goodbye. Thank you for watching. I've just lost 4-0 against Bayern. So, already feel like the Arsenal manager.